Well, hey guys, welcome back to the range with me. It is good to be back to the range. Sorry, you know my drill. I keep looking up in case I see an eagle or a hawk or something. Anyway, sorry about that. Welcome back to the range. It's been a while. It's been a dry spell. You know, there was the whole demonetized again thing that happened recently. So basically, I just kind of stopped and focused on other things, and it's just been hard to get back into the swing of things. But I am getting back, and I'm getting back today in a really, really good way. Talking about shadow systems, but you knew that, right? Because you saw the title of the video already, and I haven't even made it. Isn't that weird? Not too long ago, I did the XR920 review for Guns America. Just recently, a few weeks ago. Anyway, the XR920 from Shadow Systems, I bought that gun. I love it. I like the XR920 so much that I told my dealer, and I think I'm starting to understand why they call him a dealer. Hey man, you got to hook me up. Hey man, I need it bad. You got to get me this one, and this is the opposite. The XR920 is the long slide short frame. This is the long or tall frame short slide. This one is the XR920, and it's available in a couple of different ways. You can get it with a threaded barrel. I don't need that because I live in a place where there's nothing to thread onto the end of my barrel, but I very much like that bronze barrel with the fluting. You can get it in black or bronze. I like the bronze. There is a lot to talk about with this gun, and I will do that, I promise, as we go along. But first, I'm really itching to shoot it. I haven't shot it yet. This will be the very, very first round, so I am looking forward to doing that. So I'm going to shut up and shoot. I swear I just heard people go, yay, finally. All right. It comes with two 17-round PMags. They are, of course, Glock compatible mags because this is a Glock Gen 3 patterned handgun. And again, more about all that in a bit. So before I start shooting this gun today, I do want to throw out initially as a disclaimer, as I did in the Guns America review for the other Shadow Systems pistol. Shadow Systems states right up front, these guns need a break-in. They are made tight. Their specs and tolerances are tiny, and so they require a break-in to wear the parts together. And as I experienced with the other gun, and I presume I may with this one, for the first couple hundred rounds you're going to see, you know, maybe a little bit trouble feeding. Perhaps you might have some ejection issues. You might, you know, the slide just may not want to go home as fast as it should, and all of those little things. So I say that because I'm okay with that. If you disclose that to me up front, if you say, hey, we made this gun so tight that these parts need to break in together, and you know, a couple hundred rounds down the road, you're going to be thankful that we did it this way. I'm okay with that. In fact, case in point, I probably can get that guy to feed. There we go. So I had to help that first round into the chamber, and I expect that I'm going to have that happen a few times today. If that's a big problem for you, my job is to give you information, not to make up your mind about what you like. So that is your decision to make whether that's a thing. I don't mind it because I can tell you firsthand, once you get this gun broken in, it is all that. All right, first rounds, right at that center target. And right off the bat, I did see the empty case eject. So there we go, a little tap, and we're back in business. Break-in for a gun is a good way to practice and test your recovery drills, isn't it? Right? Tap, rack, bang. All right, looks like we're past that point, maybe. All right, looks like it's just a tap will get it in there. And we are empty. All right, so you saw that was a little bit of effort, right? But all I had to do was tap each one and it fed the rest of the way. So that's going to loosen up. By the time I'm done shooting for this video, this thing will probably be broken in. All right, let me try releasing it now with, instead of slingshotting it, try using slide release. Yeah, I didn't think that was going to be too successful just yet. But there we go. I'm going to help that first round in again and back at it. I'm sticking with the target you see me shooting at is about 12 yards. I believe I walked it off to be 12 yards. All right, see, you can tell I only had to tap a couple times in that magazine, and that is the progression of the break-in, in my experience. Okay, I've put just 10 rounds in each of the two magazines. Basically, that empties the box of 50 that I was working off of. I'm shooting Freedom Munitions 124 grain, for those of you who like to know what I'm shooting. It's just good break-in range stuff. And we're still not wanting to go all the way home yet, chambering that first round. Let me stretch myself out to those other targets, which are considerably further away. They're about like 16 yards away, or maybe even more. Trying to see where the aim point is. All right, looks like it's low on that paddle, so I probably want a 6 o'clock hold or a center hold. There we go. Looks like a center hold gets it done. And speaking of that topic, these sights are incredible. It's like my favorite configuration. You got the blacked out rear, which I really like, with good anti-glare serrations, and you've got a really bright lime green front sight that does have a tritium center, a nice chewy tritium center. All right. Nothing like breaking the gun in and trying to learn how to shoot all at the same time. I'm going to slingshot chamber this, and we went all the way home that time, so you can feel it. And this was my experience with the other gun. You can feel it break in as you go. Every magazine you shoot, you can feel the difference. See if I can finish off that paddle. Yeah, this one's liking it's liking a dead center hold, which is nice. Those targets, before I forget to say, all three of those steel targets you see downrange are provided to the channel by TA Targets. They make the best steel targets in my humble opinion. And yes, I have shot other brands. I didn't like them as much. There is a discount code down in the information for this video for TA targets. You can save 10%, and that is significant. I encourage you to use that. And that is just a straight up discount code. That's not an affiliate link. I don't make any money, but they did provide me with these targets. Just so y'all know what's what. All right. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're breaking in. Okay, back to it. I've opened a new box and got 15 rounds in each magazine. Let's see if I can clean up that paddle and then move on to the dueling tree. So let me tell you a little bit about this gun. It ejects like a Glock, if you saw that. It is a Glock patterned handgun after all. So it will whop you in the forehead. Oh man, that's going to be hard to hit. Let's see if I can do it. Come on, challenge yourself. I'm trying not to hit the upright, just the paddle. There's just a sliver of it there. There we go. There we go. And I got beamed in the face. So yeah, it's a Glock patterned handgun, Gen 3 specifically, because, you know, expired patent. That's why everybody makes these. And so you're going to get that same type of ejection pattern. We'll count that among the not as great things. Now there's that top paddle that I'm getting ready to try and shoot. There's a paper wasp building a little nest behind there, a little hive, whatever you call them. Let's see if we can convince him that that might not be the best place to try and raise a family. All right, that's a nice way to finish out a magazine. Pressing on. I apologize if you're getting bored. Let me try to talk a little bit more about this gun while I'm shooting. I'm gonna keep going on that dueling tree, because if you watch this channel, you know that thing is a challenge for me. I can do more missing than hitting on this one. But so I talked about the sights. I love the sights. And of course, the other big thing is this gun is optics ready. And it uses a system where you don't have to have adapters. So you don't have to have all these little plates, you know, or it really comes with everything you need to attach any of the big brand optics, and most of the off brands copy the footprint of one of the big brands anyway. So like virtually every optic can go on this gun without you having to buy anything new. And it also doesn't elevate the optic, it keeps it nice and low. And in some cases, you still have that co-witness capability, because it does sit down in the slide quite a ways. I'm gonna go back to this middle one where I can feel like I'm shooting better. All right. So you can see I haven't had to tap this thing in a while. The break-in really is like, does happen before your eyes. Okay, I've been shooting at a pretty slow pace, even when I didn't have to tap. But I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit and see, now that I'm feeling a little more comfortable in the gun's break-in status, as I am down to the last 20 of the first 100. All right, so I've shot 80 rounds, basically, is what I'm saying. I've got 20 more loaded up, 10 in each mag. Let's try the slide release again. Still not quite there with that, but one tap brought it home, and that's closer because a tap didn't used to be enough a little while ago. But I'm going to try to shoot a little bit faster and see if the action is going to cycle real good for me and smooth. Okay. That's feeling good. One more time. Ah, darn it. All right. So I was 19 for 20 on those two mags. Okay, about halfway through the break-in, and I've switched over to some Herder's ammunition. And this is, I believe, 115 grain. Yep, 115 grain, so changing up the load a little bit there as well. Let me tell you a little bit more about the gun while I shoot. So one of the other things that I really, really like about what Shadow Systems has done is the grip frame. So they have 3 back straps, and it's not just about changing the size, small, medium, large. They change the shape, they change the grip angle as well. The one that I've got on it, which is the one that came on it, but also the one I know I wanted on it, is the one that's kind of medium, or more like an M&P. So basically you can choose for your Glock clone to feel like a Glock, or you can have it feel like an M&P in terms of angle, or a 1911. So for those of you who don't like a Glock patterned handgun, simply because you don't like the grip angle, and I get it, I totally get it. Shadow Systems gives you a lot of choices. Well, not a lot of choices, but pretty good choices. I like, I obviously like the 1911 grip angle, but I also really like that M&P type grip angle. Just, when you draw a gun from a holster, or from, push out from a low ready, however you're presenting your gun to the target, your sight picture should already be flat, and it should already be lined up, to your natural point of aim. And if it's not, we're not going to get into all that, but there's a lot of things you can look at and adjust, but one of the key things, for starters, is the grip angle of the gun. So some people just, and I'm one of them, some people, when you push out a Glock, this is what you see. Front sight is really high to the rear notch. And that's with me as well. If I'm going to shoot a Glock, like if I was going to shoot a Glock in a competition, I would, for weeks ahead of time, I would just practice with nothing but a Glock, so that I would get the muscle memory into canting my wrist further forward to bring that front sight down as I push out, right? Otherwise, you're spending the first second on the clock trying to get your sight picture. And if you like that angle, well, you're in good shape because it is one of the choices you get to make. Or you can have it, in this case, like this one is, more like an M&P, or if you want it to be an even straighter angle, you can go with the 1911-ish angle. So it's a very, very cool option that they give you right in the box with all their guns from Shadow Systems. Another one is this magwell that you see on the bottom. I like the magwell. It makes your reloads a lot faster and easier. And the other thing I like about a magwell that maybe doesn't get talked about as much, but for me, it gives me a place to wedge my pinky for my grip, and it ensures that I've got a consistent grip and that I'm as high up in there as I can get, right? So we've got a nicely undercut trigger guard, and to make sure that I'm taking advantage of that and getting that finger way up in there, I wedge this pinky up underneath here between the magwell and my other pinky. I've got a nice snug grip, and it does make a difference. All right, one more time I'm going to try the slide release. Ah, yay! Success, first time, made it. So you can see the break-in is happening. All right, let me go back to the paddles that I usually have a little more success with. Like I say, those things are about 17 yards away, and they are 6 inches in diameter. So it's no gimme. The front sight almost obscures the actual paddle. I'm going with a center hold, which seems to be the right way to go. All right, let's try the other one. That one doesn't like me anymore. That's the one that likes to get at that angle. Hey, there we go. Well, traded one for the other. All right. Always nice to finish a magazine on a hit. As you can see, these PMags drop nice and clean. All right, I'm going to put a few on paper instead of just shooting at the steel. It keeps me a little bit more disciplined, and it also helps us understand where we're hitting precisely. So what did I talk about? I talked about the incredible sights. I talked about the back strap. The texture on the grip is really nice. Wow, I threw that one pretty high, didn't I? That's a recycled target from a previous day, but I can still see where I'm hitting. There we go, bringing it in a little better. So the sights and the grip and the texture on the grip are fantastic. Got the undercut trigger guard. Got the magwell. Got the fluted barrel. That is a match grade barrel. Got the lightened slide. And probably not last, definitely not least, a very nice trigger as well. So it is obviously Glock compatible trigger mechanism, but it is much nicer than what you would get with a Glock. Very comfortable to the finger. The trigger safety doesn't dig into you. Even when your hand gets sweaty, you know how when your finger gets sweaty and the skin gets soft? It doesn't bother you even then, which is good. I'm still in break-in period, so I'm not going to judge that group. I'm also not resting the gun, so I'm not going to judge that group. Nice. It's got a nice, right where the end of my forefinger is here, got a nice stippled area on both sides. And to me that serves two purposes. Number one, on this side it gives me a good index, gives me a place to know that my finger is where it needs to be when it's not on the trigger. The other thing is it gives my forward thumb of my support hand a nice textured area to be. Helps me control the gun and helps the gun not jump around as much. The wraparound texture is great. It's great on the front strap, back strap, and the side panels. Goes nice and high, goes all the way up to the slide stop, slide release. All right, let's throw a couple more mags down at the paper. I've refreshed the target, got it all prettied up. And I'm being optimistic. I kept the camera tight on the orange dot. So if I miss by much, you won't see them. But I'll try not to, okay? I have also changed the ammo. This is Federal, 124 grain, Federal American Eagle. And we are getting close to being done with the break-in period. As far as round count, I think they say 200 rounds. They might say 250. I don't remember. I will clarify that right on the screen. Spider. I feel like when I'm missing high, yeah? Let's work on that. Let's work on that. Let's lock this grip in a little better. See, not only do you get to, like I said, you don't just get to watch me break in a gun. You get to watch me try to learn how to shoot. Yeah, I kind of feel things settling in. Obviously the parts are wearing together, gun's getting nice and smooth, it's breaking in, and I'm starting to break in with it too, in terms of just getting comfortable with my grip and my hold point and all that. And that takes a little bit, you know. It's not. I mean, I know guys that could just pick any gun up out of the box and go shoot a match with it and win. I'm not one of those guys. So. All right, pressing on with the Federal American Eagle, and we're consistently chambering that first round with even with the slide stop, slide release control. So, as again, you guys are. You know, through the course of this video, you're really watching this gun break in. But they, I mean, people who I know and respect say that the Shadow systems are like the most accurate guns they've shot. And I know they have gained a lot of popularity with the competitors. All right, very good. Yeah, that second group is better, even though I have several hits that were a little high. It just feels better. It just feels like a tighter group. Okay, summing up, what is there to say? I'm going to start out by saying simply this. I have already voted with my wallet. I bought this gun. I specifically requested it, had it ordered for me. So that's, you know, you can take what you want from that. And that is based on my experience with the XR920L, which I also own. So I have invested in 2 of these handguns. They are on the higher end of price for this type of a handgun. This is a, you know, somewhere in the $900 to $1,000 range pistol. And I know there's already a lot of you out there who are going to say, I'm out. Forget it. That's one you can keep right there, you know, for a polymer frame striker fired handgun. I totally get it. And that is your option. And then I know there's going to be guys out there who are going to be like, yeah, absolutely. I'll drop $1,000 on a gun that I know is going to help me win competitions and just be a great shooter and all that. Those are the decisions that I can't make for you. All I'm trying to do is give you decent information if you're trying to make that decision. I really like the Shadow Systems. I like what they're doing. Hopefully you had fun kind of watching me break the gun in. That's really what this video was watching me break the gun in. It's kind of a fun process, and I don't mind doing it. As long as you tell me up front that it's required, I'm okay with it. So I have every intention of coming back out with the Shadow Systems, maybe with both of them, and doing more work. Maybe compare the two, show you what's the same and what's different between the 2 models, besides just the size. Maybe that is all there is different. Can you mix them and match them? That's a good question I might want to answer. Are they like underoos? Can we do that? Give me in the comments below, what questions you would have for another video, a second video with the 2 Shadow Systems pistols, and I will do my best to try and address all of that stuff. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate your investment of time, and thanks to everyone who supports this channel, from the Patreons to you, the viewer, who again has invested time in watching this, to the companies like TA Targets, Talon Grips, Lock Grips, Blade Tech Holsters, people who are partnering with me and helping me produce content. Don't forget to look down below in the description of this video, and you're going to find discount codes and in some cases affiliate codes or links. Use those. Those will save you money on products that you're probably going to want to buy anyway. They are all products that I definitely endorse, and in some cases a little bit of money will come back to the channel and help the channel out, help me make content. I'd appreciate it if you'd go stomp on the like button for this video. It really does help the channel out, and if you don't subscribe, I can't imagine why you wouldn't. So subscribe, and I'll see you again real soon with more shenanigans.